We really want to thank you all. Welcome. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day to hear about this great integration. I know your time is valuable. Again, my name is Giles Brown. I'm the senior marketer for Ebix WinFlex. I'll be moderating this show today. With me is Mark Krantz, Jason S. Taylor, Ken Lebo from PlanFacts, and Joe Walsh from PlanFacts. We've got a big cast today. They're going to be doing the heavy lifting, the presentations, and the company discussing their companies, so they're really going to be doing the work. I'm just going to be feeding questions to them. I want to share a few housekeeping details with you before you get started. We plan to keep this under an hour because I know everybody's time is valuable. Since there are a lot of you on the webinar, we have all of the audience muted. That means that we don't have background noise and we have a better quality recording. But you can communicate us. We want to get to Q&A at the end of this. So if you have questions as they occur to them, you can write them out in the QA feature or the chat feature, and we will feed them to we will answer those. If we don't get to those questions today, if they're too in-depth or we just run out of time, we promise we'll get back to you via email or phone in the next day or so. So all your questions will be answered. We want to hear your feedback and your questions. So do use the QA or chat panel. We are recording today's session. I will be sharing out links to that recording the next day or so, so you will be able to share it with your colleagues or review it and ask even more questions about us. So it is my great pleasure now to introduce you to our panelists. And I apologize right up front, a hearty apology to Mark Krantz, who is my longtime buddy, and I don't have his handsome face, and he is the most handsome of all of us. So Mark Krantz is the director of WinFlex and of the sales and development of WinFlex and the LifeSpeed apps here at Ebix. Next is Jason S. Taylor, who is the manager of client services at WinFlex and Vital Sales. I'm sorry, I keep saying LifeSpeed and it's Vital Sales. Forgive me. Ken Lebo is here from PlanFacts. He's a senior VP at Impact Technologies, which is the parent company of PlanFacts. And finally, Joe Walsh, who is a financial software and training support person at Impact Technologies. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this screen over to Ken, who's going to tell us a little about PlanFacts. So we're going to change this role to presenter. We're passing it over to Ken right now. Take it away, Ken.
Screen here. I'm going to go and fire up this PowerPoint. Yes, I'm with Impact Technologies Group. We are a software vendor in Charlotte, North Carolina is where we're based. And we've been in the insurance and financial services industry for over 35 years. And basically, our company originated developing illustration software for life and annuities and financial planning software for advanced market, estate planning, and things of that nature. What we're going to talk about today is PlanFacts. We're very excited. PlanFacts is a platform that has 8 tools on there that can be used with an agent or an insurance agent or a financial advisor in the field with your client, or if you're a BGA or an IMO and you're in the back office running illustrations on WinFlex, you can use PlanFacts in your back office and run enhanced presentations for your agents to present to their clients. So it can be used in both models. What we're trying to, our objective here is to be able to take that insurance sale, whether it's life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability insurance, and for the purpose of our demo today, we're focused on life insurance, is to be able to help the agent close the sale. That's what we want to do. We want to enhance that illustration. So we've got a really slick set of tools that can be used to be able to help close that sale for that agent, okay? And so whether it's for retirement planning or it's for needs analysis, or if you're working with a business owner and you're going to sell key person insurance or insurance for a buy-sell agreement, our business succession concept software, for example, that you see listed here on the screen, can evaluate a business, and it can evaluate a key employee, and then it can show you why life insurance is the best solution, and it really explains it very easily to the owner, and it sells the insurance for the agent. That's the beauty of it. So if you're not totally comfortable or an expert on some of these things, the software really does it for you. It's really powerful. And we have great tools also for qualified plans, for estate planning, very simple conceptual tools, so you don't have to be a financial planner to work with a small estate. You can do needs analysis with a very powerful report. One of the things that we think our strengths are is, number one, is the usability of our software, how user-friendly it is. And whether you're on a laptop, a Mac, you're on an iPad, any type of tablet, it's optimized for those mobile devices, and it's really designed to easily engage with the client. And if you're a BGA in your back office, then the other strength of our solution is our reports. So that when you're selling life insurance, you're not just running an illustration and handing a carrier product guide. You're presenting a personal financial story, and we're educating the client in easy terms. What is life insurance? Why do you need it? What types of life insurance? And what you're going to see in our demonstration with WinFlex is the power of WinFlex to be able to take any carrier and enter the client information once and run different illustrations. We can take that illustration like an index UL, and we can show you in our tools, like one of the tools we're going to demonstrate today is cash flow decisions, and we're going to show you whether it's an agent using the tool in the field presenting it to the client, or it's the BGA running the report for the agent, how it's going to help them sell that IUL product. And it's going to really make it easy for the client to understand and be comfortable about what they're buying. So that's what we do. The one other thing I'll mention is that if you are an agent or advisor on this call, you also, when you do get our solution set, you do get some lead generation software. We know lead acquisition is very difficult and expensive, and so we've got some really slick lead generation tools that you can put in social media, your website, or whatever, to have clients understand why they need insurance or why they need retirement help, and from there you can integrate that data into any of these PlanFacts tools. So that's the introduction of PlanFacts, and with that being said, I'm now going to hand this back to
me, Ken.
Yeah, to Mark. Yeah, Mark, what I'm trying to do is go here and set it. So sorry, I'm doing it right now. You should do. Okay, do you guys have it? Are you the presenter? There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ken. And thanks to all of you who are here on the session here today. We're really excited about this integration with PlanFacts, and our commitment to the users of WinFlex is to partner with great groups like Impact so that you can move your illustration data out of WinFlex into their presentation system and very easily put together client presentation. And so I'm going to be showing you how easy that is here to do the impact piece. Before I do that, though, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of WinFlex 6.5. We just released it in January, and those of you that use WinFlex, we appreciate, you guys working with us through the transition into 6.5. We're really excited about it. It is a device, operating system, and browser neutral platform. So just like Ken indicated, this is going to work on a PC, it's going to work on a Mac, it's going to work on laptops, it's going to work on tablets. And so it really is one application that can serve many masters. And what you're looking at here is our WinFlex dashboard, which is new with 6.5. And we've got some shortcuts into our client editor to run illustrations, our express illustrations, and that's something, if you haven't looked at it recently, take a look at it. It's a real easy way to get some basic pricing information along with the illustration package. And so Express Illustrations is available from here. Our Client Manager, which is where all of your case information can be saved. So each user on the platform has the ability to save their cases in their own secure database. We've also got our Agent Manager here. So if you are a case designer and you represent multiple agents, you can set up your agent database and easily find those and add those to the cases that you are designing in WinFlex. And then Group Manager, which is a collaboration tool. So it allows you to create groups, add other WinFlex users to the group, and then save your cases to those groups so that the other members of the groups can have access to those cases. And then we've got User Profile here. You'll also notice our Spotlight feature here. And the Spotlight feature is where we give our vendor partners and our carrier partners the opportunity to reach out to the WinFlex community with different information that they may want you to know about. You could just see the PlanFacts integration there, and then AXA has got an add-on there as well. And then we've got our WinFlex Carrier What's New here. And so you can go ahead and take a look at the different What's New files that the carriers are putting out there. So our goal is to really put the information in front of you when you need it. And we've got some improved messaging with the carrier engines in the system. So we're really excited about what it means for the next generation of WinFlex users and where we can take WinFlex to better serve you. And of course, our PlanFacts integration is a great example of that. So with all of that said, I'm going to jump into our client editor here. And we've got a few changes. You can see we've got our Carrier What's New here. We've got the Spotlight. And we've got a little dialogue that asks you what you want to do. Start a new case, load a saved case, or manage your cases. And so that way we can kind of set you up for the different activity that you want to do. Now, loading a saved case is going to open our saved client dialog here, so you can load saved cases without actually leaving the WinFlex editor. We've also got a shortcut to manage your cases. I'm going to take you in there real quick. This is our new client manager. Every user has it. It's a place for you to securely save all of your case information. And you can see we've redesigned it so that it's much more intuitive for going through and finding all of your cases by case name, by agent, by date, et cetera. And if you do use those collaborative user groups, you can also see those from here as well. I'm going to jump back into Client Editor now, and let's get going with designing a case here. So I'm going to click Start a New Case. I'm going to select my carrier, and just to give you a quick overview on this, this is our product selector, and from the Select Product tab, you can navigate through all of your different carriers and their products and take a look at the different product notes options that they have. You can also search for product types and products by carrier, by the product type, whether or not they support our advanced sales concepts, whether they support comparison. So a real easy way for you to come in and find your products. You can select multiple products and carriers using the checkboxes and very easily create your client list from here. So if you haven't ventured into that one, that's a great way for you to create some template cases that you can easily recall from that saved client dialog once you log into WinFlex. And then we've also got a Get Underwriting link here. Real quickly, I'm not going to go through this, but it's an integration with the X-Ray pre-underwriting engine, and you can go in and fill out your information, and you can go ahead and get a report back from X-Ray that will let you know what the classes are based on the answers to the health questionnaire. All right, so let's move forward here with setting up our case. So I'm going to select the AIG Elite Global Plus 2, and I'm going to put in a client name. We're going to solve for premium here. And for the sake of this exercise, that's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to go back to my product selector, navigate down to Zurich, do their protection UL, and I'm going to click copy add here. And that's going to go ahead and add the Zurich product and inherit all of the case design parameters that I entered into my AIG product. Just real quickly, I want to talk about our error panel. We've got a new panel that hopefully you guys are all enjoying out there that will let you know changes as you navigate from product to product, and give you suggested answers based on the rules in there, and give you an intelligent message that lets you know why a particular question was not valid based on the business rules. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, go back in here, and I'm going to be 55. I'm going to go ahead and calc this for you. And while this is calcing, one of the things that we've done is try to enhance our summary page for you to make it very easy to use. Now, one of the things that feedback that we've gotten that we're responding to is there's been a lot of users that would like to be able to print the summary. And so we're in the process of looking into that and giving you the opportunity to do that, which is something that we haven't done in WinFlex before. But based on user feedback, we think that that would be a good enhancement. So as you guys are using the application, using the PlanFacts integration, we look forward to your feedback on both sides of the fence so that we can serve you better in regard to the illustrations, the data, and making it easy for you to put that presentation in front of your clients. The AIG engine is a little bit slow today, but it will return here for us in just a moment. And once it returns, you'll see that we've got the PlanFacts button. And the way that this works is once we have the button there, you click on the button and you download a file locally that is then uploaded into the PlanFacts application. And I'm going to pass it off to Joe when we get there, and he's going to show you that. And it's very easy for us. You guys would engage the impact group with the PlanFacts that you want the PlanFacts feature enabled in WinFlex, and they contact us and we add it for you in WinFlex. Seems like the AIG engine here is not going to cooperate with me, so I'm just going to cancel this. And I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to go ahead and come to the summary page. So now on the summary page, you can see we've enhanced it quite a bit, and we've got all of our usual suspects here for the data points that we give you in the summary. But now you'll also notice our PlanFacts button here. So when I've got my comparison here and I find a product that I want to pass over to PlanFacts through the download, I'm simply going to click on the PlanFacts button, and I'm going to navigate to the location I want to put it, and I'm going to save it. And it's as easy as that to be able to come into WinFlex, run your illustration, and download your PlanFacts XML. And for those of you that are a little bit tech savvy out there, it's an Accord 111 transaction. And so that's what we're passing over to PlanFacts, and they are absorbing. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to make Joe the presenter. And Joe will take you through the next steps of the relationship between WinFlex and PlanFacts, where you've already got your XMLs downloaded, and now you're ready to have some fun with creating your presentation in the PlanFacts system by uploading that XML file and then designing your presentation. And I just have to say this, that you know, I'm a musician and I always wanted to open up for Joe Walsh, and I get to do it here today in this demo, so I'm really excited about that. So Joe.
Woo! Smoke on the water! Woo! Thank you, Mark. I wish I could do an awesome guitar riff for you right now, but I don't have those skills, so I'll just get right into the software. But thank you very much. And as you see right now, we're on the PlanFacts login screen. And really the whole point of this is putting to life that life insurance illustration with either a cash flow analysis or a goal-based analysis, or as Ken mentioned, our business succession concepts tool. Any of our tools that allow the agent to propose life insurance with the ability to pull in that WinFlex illustration, we can put it to life and show them how it works with their current plan. And I just love that. I mean, that's really the whole point of this integration. Where we're at right now is the dashboard page, so all of the saved cases that the agent or the agency that they save will show up here. They could always go, you know, you can always go back into them and modify them, reprint them. Perhaps you want to propose different types of life insurance, so we allow you to rename them. You know, so you're going to have to put in the different types of life insurance for each case. That way you can keep track of, you know, there might be two or three different Franks and Marys, and each of them might have a different illustration for them. So just note what illustration it is. You know, maybe it's illustration 1, or you know, maybe perhaps it's illustration 2, or the specific illustration. That way you can identify the different ones for each Frank, you know, the different Frank and Marys. Typically, to get started, you're going to select Create New Case and pick your poison here. We have a bunch of programs. We have goal-based tools. We have cash flow-based tools. We have specific tools that get into qualified plan planning, where you can propose QLACs and you can propose life insurance. You can show how RMDs will pay for maybe a life insurance premium. We have specific tools that get into Social Security maximization. We really have a tool for everything. And I'm going to point out the ones that allow you to propose life insurance. It's business continuation, cash flow decisions, let's see here, qualified plan concepts, and retirement roadmap. So if you're in any of those tools, you're able to propose life insurance and you're able to pull in that WinFlex illustration with just a few clicks. I'm going to get into a safe case right now. It's Frank and Mary. And I'm going to briefly show you our cash flow decision software tool. So this is a cash flow retirement tool. All of these tools that I just showed you, including this one, are all designed to be used in front of the client, if possible, or you can hand them over that PDF, nice PDF that Ken was talking about, and present to the client that way. But it's very high level, very effective, conceptual, and interactive. So keep that in mind as we go through this. Now, one thing that cash flow decision has that the other tools don't is an optional emphasis on Social Security planning. So if agents or agencies, you know, a lot of folks use or enjoy using Social Security planning as a foundation to build that new client relationship, to provide value right off the bat and show them how to maximize their. So if that is the intent, no problem. Click Social Security and we're going to bring you through a Social Security maximization analysis, where the agent is able to answer questions and provide that value to the client to where now they can maximize their Social Security. However, you don't have to go down that path. If you select cash flow decisions, or the cash flow track, now we're going to go and do a cash flow analysis for the client. Very high level. And there's only about 3 or 4 screens of inputs, that's it. Here we're looking at their monthly expenses. Pretty self-explanatory here. The next screen, we're inputting their income sources. So you guys know that we do propose life insurance in here, but we do propose annuities as well, which is really nice. So if you want to show the client a high-level what-if scenario of a certain type of annuity, no problem. You can propose it here and show them inside the cash flow what that annuity looks like. Besides that, these are just typical inputs here. Their salary, their Social Security income, pensions, miscellaneous income, and you can also propose reverse mortgages as well. Very high level stuff. The last input screen is the assets page. So up top we have our qualified accounts. All we're looking for is their current balance and monthly contributions, if any. Right below that we have savings and investments. Right below that we have our life insurance. Just like the annuity section, you can propose annuities. However, if they have any life insurance. If they have any existing life insurance, go ahead and put it in. From a cash flow standpoint, we want to make sure we incorporate it and pull it into the cash flow. And then, of course, you can propose life insurance. Now, most likely, you're not going to go through this for the first time and propose life insurance. You're going to get to the end here, and you're going to look at their current snapshot. We call this the playground page, where we can find out very quickly where the shortfalls arise, how their assets are doing throughout retirement. We can play with different scenarios here as far as life expectancy, retirement age. We can get a quick snapshot of how much money is coming out a certain year. So once we get comfortable with the settings on this page here, now it's time, and if you see here, we have shortfall amounts. Now it's time to us to possibly propose an insurance product. So this is where we go back one screen. We can click on life insurance, and there's a couple ways to do it. Fortunately, we can import it. However, there are other options. You can simply enter a face amount and annual premium and move on. Very high level. You can schedule it where you manually enter in premiums, death benefit, cash value, loans, and withdrawals. Or you can pull it in from a link file, and that's exactly what we're doing with WinFlex, to where we can import something. And let me just back up real quick. So we already went over this, but here's our PlanFacts icon. Once you click on that, it's going to save to a file. You tell it where you want it to sort of store. All right. So once that's done and complete, that's when we're going to come over here and click import and pull it in. So we're going to double click it. All right. And now we just pulled in that illustration. View policy. Here's our premiums, death benefit, cash value, loans, and withdrawals. Now, what's awesome about this is any sort of loans and withdrawals that are inside that illustration are going to get pulled in as well. So now, this $52,000 right here is going to show up in their cash flow. So it really shows the value of permanent insurance and how permanent insurance not only is good for a death benefit, but it can also help out during retirement as well. So there we have it. So we pulled in the illustration. We're happy with it. And what's awesome about this is now we're going to compare a proposed side versus their current without insurance. So notice this dark blue here. That's the life insurance. So we pulled in that illustration from WinFlex, put it to life. This is exactly how it's going to look inside their current cash flow, or inside their cash flow throughout life. These are their loans and withdrawals here. Now, the thing is, once you're on this screen, any sort of variable that you change down here, life expectancy, retirement age, etc., it's going to change both sides, because we want to fairly compare the current situation versus what we're proposing. So, if we slide it down to age, say, Frank passes away at age 69, he's passing away at age 69 on both sides. So you can show them how their insurance is going to work for them, with different life expectancies, which is pretty powerful stuff. So this is all done on the fly, and we quickly do the calculations for you. And really, besides the interactive part of this, you're also showing them that they can afford it, because we're taking care of the premiums. The premiums are being noted and getting paid for each and every year. So if we come up here and go to more details and select cash flow, it's a built-in expense. That $12,000 is getting paid each year. So I'm sure that's a big hurdle for a lot of folks. Can I afford this? Well, this is not only showing them how they can afford it, but it's showing them in the future how it actually works for them with loans and withdrawals. So this is the power behind cash flow decisions and a great relationship that we now have with WinFlex. The last screen to this entire program for cash flow is mitigate risk to your plan page. So the advisor looks through these risks, determine which apply. That way he knows it's important to go over with his client. The client sees that it's checked and realizes that it is important. Just good things to read through and again check to make sure that, just to check to make sure that it is important. Now, the printouts, because a lot of agencies have our tool, and it's not so much about the interactive part of the tool than it is about the reports, because the reports is what's given to the client. We put a lot of time and energy in our reports and the way we design it, the psychology that's used, the verbiage, the graphics. So the agent should feel very confident leaving this behind for a client. So it's essentially just summing up everything that we just put in there in a book. So now we're essentially telling a story. Nice cover page by default. It'll have the client's name here and the agent's name and contact information below. And I'm only going to really stop at the pages that I feel that are really important. Here's a nice snapshot of cash flow and how it works. So it's a good education for the client. Our reports, any of our reports, all those tools that you see at the very beginning, they're all educational rich. We're not just proposing life insurance. We're explaining, reasons for the life insurance, typical uses for life insurance. Same thing goes for annuities. Any sort of suggestion that's being made, we're setting up the sale. Also, I don't know how many pages are in here. We have 38 pages. You can lean this down to like 5. So it's all customizable. For this webinar, I think I did a full report, so it's 38 pages. Here's a current snapshot of where they're at without any sort of recommendation. So without the life insurance or anything else, this is where they're at. This is how we're using assets. So of course we need a logic to spend. This is how we're spending, which you can change. You can change the spend order. I didn't get into that, but you can. I did choose an emphasis on Social Security, so now we're seeing a maximization result. This is how they should file that maximizes their Social Security. Below this, we're going to get into something called optimization. Here we just have graphs and income floor charts and everything else that supplement everything as well. All right, proposed cash flow. So now we have our life insurance in there, and this is under the assumption that Frank's going to live until 80 years old, and this is what it looks like. And then, of course, we're going to go into the details. Social Security, proposed cash flow, income floor, retirement asset breakdown year by year. And here we start getting into comparisons, which is a great page. Current versus proposed, and this is the actual cash flow of current versus proposed. All right? Now we're comparing income floor. So current versus proposed. The proposed is the dark green right here. Great page there as well. Income taxation, current versus proposed. Break-even analysis. And then finally the action plan. So this is just a nice step-by-step guide of what the client can get. Essentially they can check these off as they occur. Notice that it includes complete the application for life insurance, schedule exam, deliver policy, et cetera, and then we have the actual Social Security filing steps, which is just a plus. Now you're telling them how to file for Social Security as well. And that's really it. Besides mitigate risk to your plans, I didn't check anything, but you can see where they would be checked if I did. And then the last thing we get into is definitions and additional information, so just terms and things that the client should absolutely be aware of before making any decisions. And that's cash flow. Again, this is just one tool that allows for the pulling in of a WinFlex illustration. Cash flow decisions is one, business continuation is another, retirement roadmap, and qualified plan concepts. Great. I believe that's it. Do you guys have any questions? Giles or Mark?
This is amazing. It does an amazing, graphically it's an amazing presentation. It's really slick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So at this point, Jason, do you have anything, a screen to show, or are we going to open it up to question and answers now?
I think we're ready to open it up for questions and answers.
Okay. Well, folks, as you recall, out there in webland or radio land, if you could type your questions into the QA or chat feature, we'll entertain them at this point. See how many we've got. Oh, no. You're making me look bad, folks. Ask some questions. Yeah, so while folks are giving some thought to their questions, any other thoughts? Jason, since you haven't presented, what do you like about this, I mean, as one of the specialists in the WinFlex space?
Sure. One of the things I really like about this is that it really brings together the power of WinFlex with PlanFacts and what it can offer. WinFlex is really meant to be a strong multi-carrier compliant illustration system, where I've always thought we've had some a weakness in WinFlex, if you will, is that we're not really a presentation platform. And that's where PlanFacts really steps up and steps in making it easy to be able to integrate from WinFlex into PlanFacts. I think it's the perfect marriage between two really great systems in the industry.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Could somebody speak to, if somebody wanted to rush out and get this integration, how would they go about doing that?
So the first thing they would want to do is contact, I believe it's actually start with PlanFacts.
Okay.
Right, and make sure that they've got the relationship there with PlanFacts, and then from there let us know that that would want to be turned on. Now this is typically done on an agency level, so we could turn on the functionality and the feature on the agency level for them, and then it also can get controlled from an agency level so that the agency admin in WinFlex can actually determine whom has access to that PlanFacts option. So we can go all the way down to control on the user level, and the agency administrator can actually set those settings up, so they have some flexibility there.
And this is Ken, and for those that say, well, how do I contact Impact, you can either go to our homepage, which is impact-tech.com, or you could go to shop.planfacts.com to learn about all the PlanFacts tools, which also has the contact information to call our main number.
And just for folks' information, I'll be sending out an email with the link to the recording for this. I'll also include everybody's contact information, everybody who's on here, as well as the website, so that you can follow up on that if you're interested. Okay. Well, somebody, Travis, nicely thanked you guys for the presentation. Let's see.
Thanks for joining, Travis.
Yeah. Timothy Fan wonders about costs for WinFlex. And I don't know if you're prepared to talk about that, but if you want to give that a shot.
About cost for being on WinFlex?
Yeah, maybe if you could give some discussion of that, because people are asking, how much does the components cost, so maybe we can just talk about that a little bit, or how it's priced, or how we do that.
Real briefly, we'll talk about that, and if you have follow-up questions, I'd be happy to get with you after the presentation to talk more about that. From an agency level, WinFlex is free. So if you're either an agent who wants to use WinFlex or an agency who wants to create an agency account in WinFlex, we'll set that up for you free of charge. The carriers put their products in the WinFlex application, so it is actually the carriers who sponsor the application, so that the distribution partners do not have to pay for that. So if you're not a user of WinFlex or an agency that has an agency account in WinFlex and you would like to get that set up, please contact us, and we'd be happy to do that for you. And you can contact us by either emailing jason.taylor, jason.taylor at ebix.com, or Mark Krantz at mark.krantz, K-R-A-N-T-Z, at ebix.com, and we will contact you and go ahead and get you set up for that.
Okay, great. Anybody from the PlanFacts side want to talk about costs?
Yeah, so there's two pricing models. If you're an individual agent or advisor, you can buy a bundled package with a monthly fee, and those are our bundles with different tools. If you're an agency, then there's an annual license of $3,000 to get you all 8 tools on PlanFacts, unlimited number of agents, up to 5 users in your back office, and then it also gives you field fact finders so the agent can even send a link to a consumer to fill out their financial information, and data goes right back to the BJ electronically, or they have PDFs they can, if they want to fill it out manually, and send and email it to the BGA. But that gives you unlimited number of agents and up to 5 users in the BGA office. And then this is the pricing for bundles for different tools if you're just an agent. Wanted to buy a tool on your own.
Okay, cool, thanks. So we have actually a very practical question from Andy, who has gotten excited and jumped right in. And he says, when I click PlanFacts and WinFlex, the system asks if you want to save. When I say yes, it asks to open or open folder or view downloads. How do I save? So I guess that's for Jason to answer.
Yeah, so when you click on the PlanFacts button, at that point it's taking it into your browser, and so you can save that file locally anywhere you want. So you do a save as, and then pick a folder or a location on your local system to save that file to. What I'd recommend is probably having a folder, a PlanFacts folder, where you could save all of your PlanFacts downloads in, and you can store them there. And then once you go into the PlanFacts system and you click on the upload button or the import button, it will then ask you where to go, and you direct it to that folder that you've created and to that file you've downloaded.
Okay, cool. Half a second, let's see. Hopefully that answers Tim's question. Let me know if it doesn't. Okay, Albert wonders, I am using PlanLab Life Goal now. He wonders how to integrate these systems. Can one of the PlanFacts guys discuss that?
Yes, of course. PlanLab, at this point, what we're trying to do is try to get as many PlanLab users of ours, because PlanLab has been around for a long time. And if there's a PlanLab product that a subscriber is on, where there's the same product essentially on PlanFacts, because PlanFacts has life goals as well, and PlanLab has life goals. So what we've been trying to do is try to persuade folks to move over to PlanFacts. Unfortunately, though, there wouldn't be much of an integration as far as the PlanLab life goals to the PlanFacts life goals. So what we suggest is having our PlanLab users save the cases via PDF in PlanLab, store them on their computer. That way they can get to them whenever they need to. However, they're not going to be able to get pulled into PlanFacts. So it's a good question. Unfortunately, there's no migration there, but at least you'll have it for records.
Right. So if you have an analytical tool on PlanLab, can we import illustrations in it? No.
Yeah.
So if you have PlanLab and you have like financial strategies, Life Goals doesn't propose life insurance; it just calculates the need. So if you have any of the PlanLab tools, you can, where you're proposing insurance, you can import a WinFlex illustration. Okay. And again, if there's a PlanFacts counterpart, we would recommend you moving over to PlanFacts. All Joe was saying is if you have some saved cases, there's no migration path. You would be starting with a new dashboard in PlanFacts is what you were saying. But yeah, you'll be able to propose life insurance in both platforms. Good question.
Yeah, it is. And Albert, let us know if that answers adequately your concern. Let's see. I think a lot of this, we've a lot of questions about cost, which we've covered, and of course, we'll be sending out contact information to the guys so that you'll be able to get in greater greater depth if need be. Albert also wonders, is this FINRA approved? Meaning, I assume PlanFacts.
We have some reports that are FINRA approved. It's typically a FINRA letter that's sent out. So we have had reps from broker-dealers like UBS and Wells Fargo and other type of reps where they have had some FINRA reports, but what you're going to have to do is contact our office to get more details about that. Sometimes those letters expire and they have to be refiled, depends. But we do have some FINRA approved reports. But if you could please contact the support desk, they would be able to get you more details about what is and what isn't.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so somebody wonders, Cheska wonders, will the PlanFacts button show up in WinFlex for everyone or just users who've signed up for PlanFacts?
I'll go ahead and take that question. So only users that have signed up for PlanFacts will have that button appear for them.
Okay, that makes sense to me. If somebody's interested in contacting somebody at PlanFacts, who is the best contact? Is it Ken or is it Joe?
You can give them either my contact information or our general support line, and then we'll be able to get it routed to the right person.
Okay, well, so for the person who's asking, I'll make sure to have all that information in tomorrow's email, so you'll have all their contact information.
Perfect, yes.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, folks, I have come, I need to switch to one more window. I have 3 or 4 windows open. So I'm kind of switching between to make sure that I'm getting everybody's questions. And I think at this point, we have hit everybody's questions. So we have a few more minutes. If anybody has any last questions, get them in so we can answer them. And otherwise, do you guys have any final thoughts that you'd like to share in closing before we head off into the sunset?
This is Ken. I just want to make one last comment. Our goal is to help you guys sell more insurance, and we also want to make it easier. We're integrating into Smart Office is something we're working on, and we think that's going to make it accessible too, because I think a lot of you guys save your illustrations in Smart Office and track your clients and illustrations, and so integration with Ebix is very important to us, and we really think that we bring the IUL and other life insurance product types to life with our different tools, and again, what we want to do is maximize the opportunity from a needs analysis to being able to sell different lines of business and help you close deals and close sales. That's what we're after, so we're here to support you for that, and we appreciate you taking the time out today. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. For folks out there who are not, we do a fair number of Smart Office webinars, and if you're interested in Smart Office and you want to be included in those webinars, my email will be on there, and just let me know, and I'll make sure you get added to that list so that you get invited to those webinars as well for more information about Ebix products and the integrations between all these great products that we offer to help you do more business, more, better, faster, more profit, which is kind of everybody's goal in here. Anything from you, Jason, that you want to talk about in closing?
I just want to thank everybody for their time today, and thank you for your continued partnership with WinFlex and Ebix.
Good point. Thank you. Okay, so on that note, I don't see any more questions from the audience. Thank you, audience, for your patience and your great questions. You'll be hearing from us tomorrow with a link to this recording so you can review it, and also contact information for everybody so they can answer more specific, detailed questions about how to implement this at your business. So thanks so much to my presenters for doing such a great job. Thanks to my co-producer, Katie Colt, who's sitting here with me, keeping me calm. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. Thanks a lot, and we'll be talking to you soon.